Hey guys, welcome back. This is HD, and welcome to my first ever episode of Advanced Starcraft Strategy, Episode 1. This is going to be how to backspace inject. And this strategy, this method has actually been around for a very, very long time in StarCraft 2, probably like 6 or 8 months. I never got around to making a video about it, and I thought, what better way than to introduce my new series of advanced StarCraft strategies than this, because I know a lot of Zerg players out there don't really know what I'm doing when I'm doing all of this. So to give you guys an idea, because I know you guys watch me on my HD ladder show where I play opponents, and then everyone's always asking, how does HD inject larvae so quickly? Well, this is how I do it. This method is called the Backspace Inject method, and essentially rather than manually injecting queens like this, where's my other queen? This over there. and like that, instead of doing it manually across the map, I actually use a method called the Backspace Inject method, which allows me to do it much faster. And it's way more efficient at injecting larvae, and you can kind of do it mindlessly once you get the steps down. So once again, this is my first episode of Advanced StarCraft Strategies. I'm probably going to do one for every advanced technique that I can figure out. This is really the only one that I know at this point, except for maybe Shift Q Blink Micro, which I did a video about Shift Q Blink Micro way in the past. So if you guys want to see episode 2 focused around that, just let me know. If not, I'll figure something else out. It may not be as advanced as this, but it'll still be some kind of a strategy you guys can execute. Anyways, the first step to doing this is to hit F10 and go into hotkeys. So what you want to do here is go into your what do you want to go into here? Go into your global hotkeys and go into camera. Yeah, there you go. You want to go into camera. So follow this step. This is step 1 for all of you guys who play Zerg. If you guys don't play Zerg and you guys are Protoss or Terrans, then I guess you guys don't need to watch this, but if you do, it's kind of interesting to know. And you want to go to base camera under camera, as you guys can see here, and where it says, this is why it's called the Backspace Inject method, because traditionally the key to press is backspace. You want to change that to something that's a little more convenient. What I have it set to, this is the alternate key by the way, is the tilde key, which is right next to 1. So what happens when you do that? So if you're looking off into space or something and you press backspace, every time you press backspace, you center yourself on a hatchery. Same if you have multiple command centers or an XI. I've rebound it to the tilde key so it's much easier. So right now I'm pressing tilde, and each time I press tilde, the camera centers on a hatchery. So that's step 1. You got to know how to do that, it's pretty easy. Just press tilde, rebind your key to whatever you want. It could be Q, it could be W, it could be A. I don't know why you would rebind it to A, but it could be whatever you want. Step 2 is to hotkey all of your queens. And I have them all hotkeyed to 4, as you guys can see down here. So by having all my queens hotkeyed to 4, I'm able to select all my queens very easily just by pressing 4. You also want to make sure, this is absolutely important, that you have at least as many queens as you have hatcheries, and they're standing next to the hatchery. If you have less queens than you have hatcheries, then your queens are going to go berserk. It's not going to work. So you got to have at least as many or more. So I have 5 hatcheries, I have 5 queens, 1 at each hatchery. You can have extras around the map, but for the simplicity of this tutorial, I'm just going to have 5. So what you want to do as step number, I guess this is actually the real step 1, is press 4. By pressing 4, you select your queens, as you guys can see down here on the bottom of the screen. Once you press 4, you want to go ahead and hold down Shift and press V, as you guys can see here. So you want to hold down Shift and press V. And what does this do? This is essentially telling all your queens that you're about to tell them to mass spam inject larvae. So this is very important. You want to hold down Shift and press V, and you're about to tell them to mass spam inject larvae, but not in a way that you're doing it one at a time, but where you're telling them all to do it at once. So when you hold down Shift and you press V, your cursor should change like this. Once you've done that, you want to go ahead and hit backspace 1 time while you're still holding down Shift. You never want to let go of Shift, so you guys can see my cursor is still kind of clicked on, is ready to inject larvae on whatever I left click. So I've pushed backspace once, and what does this do? It automatically centers the hatchery, the nearest hatchery, onto the center of my screen. So I leave my mouse in the middle of the monitor and I go ahead and left click. Continue to hold down shift, don't let go, and press tilde or backspace again. Left click, tilde, left click, tilde, left click, tilde, left click, and you just keep doing it until you basically go back to your first hatchery. This is a very fast and efficient way to inject larvae. It's once you perfect it, you're going to be able to inject larvae in less than the blink of an eye, like 1 or 2 seconds. And this is how a lot of top tier Zergs inject their larvae. There's multiple methods to doing it. This is the method that I prefer using. So as you guys can see, I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys again, but all my larvae has now popped out of the hatcheries. Let's go ahead and do that again. So what do you want to do? Step 1, press 4 to select all your queens, or whatever hat key you have selected for all your queens. You want to go ahead and hold Shift V, makes your cursor ready to inject larvae. Press backspace or tilde or whatever key you have it bound to 1 time to center the monitor or the screen onto your hatchery. Left click. Still holding down shift, press tilde, left click, tilde, left click. So you just go through really fast and you inject larvae very quickly. And that's essentially the end, I guess, of my episode number 1, Advanced Starcraft Strategy, ASS, how to inject larvae, backspace inject method. And I don't know why I picked this map for this tutorial. It's actually a really small map. It was really hard for me to find places to put hatcheries that made sense. But I guess I hope this tutorial came off as making sense. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. Let's just do it one more time. Press 4, select all your queens, Shift V, ready to inject larvae, backspace, center the mouse on the screen, and here we go. I'm going to do it as fast as I can. So everything is injected instantaneously. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope this increases Zerg players when it comes to efficiency and how fast it can inject larvae, so they don't have to waste so much time doing that. And this actually is really helpful for Terrans and Protoss as well, because this makes it so as a Terran or a Protoss, you now realize, you know, that you could push a key to select all your command centers, your nexus. So now you can pay attention to your map a little bit more when there's a drop going on, when you want to check back on your base. It's very quick, just hitting the backspace key or tilde key or whatever to going back to your base. So that is essentially it. Remember, guys, make sure you have at least as many queens as you have hatcheries. If you have less queens and you have hatcheries, I guess I'll show this to you guys right now. This is what happens. So die, you stupid queen. There we go. Okay, so if you have less queens than you have hatcheries, what happens is then you're only allowed to push backspace 4 times, 1 for each queen. If you push it more than 4 times, then this is what happens. Your queens just start to go, yeah, stupid, retarded. So that's that. Make sure you always have at least as many queens, otherwise they're just going to start walking off creep and you're going to lose your queens. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is HD signing out. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys next time.